Why aren't you listening to me? Doesn't anybody ever listen to me? Listen to me? Listen to me? Listen to me? Blame yourselves for this fucking word salad that I just spit all over the goddamn plate. This is all your fault. You and I like me. That's it. I work under the cover of darkness because I don't need the rest of society to look in my eyes and know that is a bad person. Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast, folks. I think this is true, and I don't think you'll disagree with me, as we can all agree. I think it's become very evident that Buddha takes March off, right? I'm at work today and I see the 2 fucking more earthquakes hit Japan, like huge earthquakes. Like all I saw was the word tsunami, and I'm like, well, no, that's not happening because it's 1 year. It's 1 year almost to the day. It was like Sunday or whatever. So sure enough, I go online and I'm at work and I'm at Twitter and it said tsunami warning for the coast of Japan after a huge earthquake, and I'm like, and then I thought, wait a minute, I thought maybe I was getting Twitter reruns, like maybe late at night now. Twitter goes into rerun mode. I have no idea if that's how it works because it's like, look, with 24-hour news cycle or not, Twitter needs some time off. So they just start running a best of maybe in the middle of the night. So maybe Twitter was running a best of Twitter. Like, hey, remember when that tsunami happened a year ago? I wasn't sure if that was how it worked. So I had to fucking research that because I was following Russia Today, RT_com. What is it? I don't know what it is, but it's a news service. So because here's how it is, folks. I like my news unfiltered. I don't want any opinion whatsoever. I want just news. Straight news, damn it. That's who I am as a guy. I don't want you clouding me up my news with all of your opinions and nonsense. I can form my own opinions. If I think to myself, hey, that's bad, I don't want it because you told me it was bad. I want to be the guy who made a stupid decision on his own. I don't want to be able to blame Brian Williams for telling me that I didn't like something. It's like, it's like we were just talking about, Lily and I are talking about Rush Limbaugh right now, and she's like, oh my God, I'm so happy that this is happening. And I have to be honest, I'm not happy that this is happening. I'm a little disturbed by the fact that a guy can get shouted down just for words. It seems weird. And I know you're all saying, well, his words are awful. Yes, they are. He's a fathead. I'm not defending Rush Limbaugh in the least. He's a fucking jagoff. But if they can come after him, eventually you got to come after the guy who advocated rape vans in Haiti, right? Don't I have to be next somewhere on the hit list? Even if I'm doing a goddamn podcast or whatever? At some point, they have to go, hey, wait, maybe we should start listening to podcasts. And then the next thing you know, they come after me, and I did not stand up and defend anybody. First they came for the Limbaughs, and I didn't say anything because I was not a Limbaugh. Then they came for the Sterns, and I was not a Stern, so I didn't say anything. And then sure enough, they came for the Schmitz at the podcasts. And guess who I am? A Schmidt at a podcast. I don't know if there's other Schmitz out there that can get first, but certainly they'll come for me. And then what am I supposed to say? What? No, you can't do that. I let them take down the Limbaughs. Because Lily was saying she's all for it and she thinks he should have been off the air years ago, and I get that. But if there's an audience willing to swallow that swill and sit there and listen to him do it, and there's supporters who are willing to buy the products, I mean, it's coming about now more naturally, I guess, more organically, because advertisers are pulling out because they're being influenced by people who say they're not, because money, it's all money. It's all it fucking comes down to. Like, if I get an email from tweakedaudio.com/40 and they were like, dude, you got to stop talking about Haiti rape vans. Well, first of all, I wouldn't talk about tweakedaudio.com/40 anymore. And second of all, I would say, hey, this is a crank call because you know what? The only reason I talked about Haiti rape vans was because tweakedaudio.com/40 wanted me to. I had no interest in it. I'm like, Haiti, whatever's going on over there. We sent them money. If you remember, we sent them money when the earthquake happened. And Tweaked Audio said, well, you got to make sure you talk about the rape bans. That's fucking awesome. I'm like, what? Bruce called me. He called me from tweakedaudio.com/40, and he's like, dude, I don't know if you're aware of this, but we have tweakedaudio.van/40, so people can get a rape van. If they go ahead, they'll get a discount because we're going into rape vans. We've made so much money with our earbuds. We've made so much money with our cock ring watches. We've decided to build windowless rape vans with Tweaked on the side. It's going to be perfect. And I said, that seems odd and weird. I'm uncomfortable with that. He goes, you'll do it, damn it, or we'll yank our advertising immediately. And I said, all right, sir. And then sure enough, I brought you the tale sale of Haiti rape vans, windowless Haiti rape vans with all sorts of people with sore asses being left in their wake. And Tweaked is now, at the Tweaked laboratory right now, a light bulb is going off as they're like, oh, we've got to get those on the market now because Mike's unleashed the product. Because I was supposed to keep it quiet, folks. I was supposed to keep it very muted. I was not supposed to talk about Haiti rape vans from tweakedaudio.com. I was supposed to make sure that nobody had wind of that. But now, fuck it. I pull the lid off. I pull the lid off right now because, and I will tell you this, but not only this show, you know where Haiti rape vans is going to advertise? Rush Limbaugh. Because he desperately needs advertisers now with all of these people pulling out. And so now the Haiti rape vans from Tweaked Audio are going to be over there on Rush Limbaugh's show. It's great. It's perfect. And then I'm in bed with that guy. See, that's why I'm uncomfortable with taking him off the air. Look, I don't care. Take him off the air. It doesn't matter to me. But I'm uncomfortable with the fact that you can shout a guy down just for words and then remove him. It just seems unseemly for me because it's, you know, you can say it's grassroots and people are deciding, well, you know, he's wrong and we need to get him off the air because we don't agree with what he's saying. But if the government stepped in and said, hey, we don't agree with what he's saying, let's take him off the air, wouldn't you be uncomfortable with that? I think you probably would. You're making a face like you have something to say to me, Lily. No? All right.
This is capitalism.
Yes, I understand that. And Rush is all for capitalism.
Rush has advocated boycotts left and right of companies.
Yes.
Well, guess what?
Now he's getting boycotted.
Coming home to roost.
Fine. And I get that. Like I said, organically, I understand that. But I still have a problem with a guy being shouted down for things that he's said. Because who takes that asshat seriously? What do you mean, what if he were Hitler?
What if he were Hitler?
Well, he's a fat radio idiot.
The entire, would you then go, it's free speech? No, it's a hate crime at that point.
But this doesn't rise to the level of a hate crime. Everything he said is he's an idiot. He's just all right. Here's the thing, because like I said, I don't think anything is offensive. I've said that before. Nothing is. If you choose to be offended by words and things like that, then that's on you. I don't think there's anything that's really offensive. You can incite certainly stupid people to do things with words, and then that can be a problem. But that's on the stupid people. That's not on you with your words, I guess. I don't think radio host rises to the level of despot. I just don't. I mean,
He's not a radio host. He's a political pundit on a radio show.
So what? Pundits are idiots. They're a dime a dozen. It doesn't. And granted, I understand that he wields incredible influence. Of course he does, but they all do. Everybody spins. Everybody lies. Everybody tells it the way they want because politics is degenerated to the thing here now. You're raising your hand, are you?
I don't lie.
You're not a pundit. You're not on TV. I'm saying these people on television, when you see them, everybody has their side staked out. It's not acceptable, but that's why I've divorced myself from it. You know what I mean? I used to care. I've talked about this before. I used to care about politics. I used to care. I would write topical material, and I shotgunned everybody. I mean, Democrats, Republicans, because that's the way you need to be. If you're doing some sort of material like that, you should take on everybody. That's why when I see these people who are so firmly in one camp, it's like, dude, they're all awful. They are all awful. I'm not even joking. It's like, that's why to me, I'm more concerned with paying my Visa bill and I don't want to sound like some blue collar plumber dude who's like, well, I got to take care of mine at home. I mean, I don't know who that guy was, by the way. Why is that? I don't know why a blue collar plumber dude decided to be George Jones. Why the fuck was that happening? She walked out on him today. That's a George Jones song, right? Isn't it? She left. She walked out the door today. I don't know, folks. I don't know country music. My mom loved George Jones. Like my mom, she loved everything. My mom was a fan of everything. By the way, speaking of that, hey, if anybody sees my mom, have her call me. Could you guys do that? Would you do that? You'll know her. Like I always say, she's like this. She's like a little 5'2" angry woman with blonde hair in Florida. And I'm sure there's none of those. Honestly, let's put it this way. My mom is the youngest woman in Florida who's not wearing a bikini. All right, that might narrow it down because it's all ancient old people and then all hot spring break girls and then my mom. She's like directly in the middle. So if you see a woman who's angry and not wearing a bikini in Florida, and without silver hair, that's probably my mom. So have her call me because I have not talked to my mom in months, probably 2 months. And I've left messages. Like I've left like 4 messages on her cell phone and her home phone. And when she was in Chicago, it'd be a different story because I'm like, whatever. She's in Chicago, or in Coal City, this small town. But she's in Florida. Who the fuck knows what could have happened to her at this point? She could have been eaten by an alligator. There could have been a lynch mob. There could have been someone would have mistaken her for an angry German tourist and bumped her rental car. She pulled over, and then they stabbed her and left her in a drainage ditch. because she moved down there with my stepdad, and it was so funny. I talked to my mom because I told you she just up and left. I talked about this on the show before, where my mom decided that she was just going to go to Florida, and I was coming home for Thanksgiving when I was going to do the show in Milwaukee, and I was going to call up and say, "Hey, I might be able to come over for Thanksgiving." And then when I get her on the phone, she's like, "Guess what? I'm moving to Florida." I said, "Wow," and she goes, "Next week." I went, "Oh my God!" To the point where it made me wonder if she would have just gone and not told me. Like she was so nervous and she spilled it. I picture my stepdad going, holding up like a shush sign in his mouth, like, don't tell him. He's half the reason we're fucking leaving. Because man, they bolted, they bailed, and it made me wonder. Like, I'm like, is there something in the crawl space at my mom's house? What the fuck is going on? That's how freaky would that be, man? How freaky would it be if I went home to Chicago and I went to my mom's old house, which is all, she's got it all locked down because they're in Florida, and I went in the house and there were just bodies, like just piled up. My mom was like a murderer. My mom and Dan, my stepdad. Oh my God, that's not a good thought. Forget I said that. Although part of me thinks that is a pretty decent thought, actually. It would explain some things, certainly. it would explain why they fucking hightailed it to Florida in the middle of the night like the goddamn Baltimore Colts. Holy shit. But now I haven't talked to her, man. I don't know what's going on, and then she's in Florida and just avoiding me, and it just makes me wonder. Like, part of me, because I did talk to her, because this is really fun. All right, this is true. This is my mom. This is everything you need to know about my mom. My mom's like, yeah, we're going to Florida, and they've been looking for a place to go, like a warm place, for a really long time. They're like, we can go to Missouri, or we can go here, and get a house and sell the thing, and just because Dan likes to fish, they like the outdoors. My mom's going on trips, they love it. Okay. So my mom's like, yeah, we're going to Florida. I'm like, all right, that's amazing. She's like, yeah, we've got this place. It's by your aunt, and we're going to go ahead and buy it, and we're going to take a look, and we're going to stay there certainly for 5-6 months and make an offer. And I said, great. And then their plan was to get a summer home in South Dakota by my brother and his grandkids, or their grandkids, my brother's kids, because my brother, he's the only one in the family who has grandkids that my mom has access to. There are other brothers. One of my other brothers has kids, but they're off limits. They're kept in a box. All right, so they're kept under glass, and my mom can't. My mom just has her face pressed against the window, looking at her the grandkids she's never contacted. But however, my brother Glenn, he's got like 4 kids who are they're accessible. My mom can talk to them. So my mom's like, they're going to get a summer home in South Dakota by Glenn. So then they'll spend the summer there and talk to the grandkids and everything, which, by the way, my mom told me all that. And I'm like, did you clear this with Glenn? I have no idea if you've cleared this with Glenn. You might want to talk to them and see if it's okay that you have a summer home by there. Because I mean, when you buy a summer home in this town in South Dakota, you might as well be the fucking mayor. There's like 9 people in this town. And it's like 6 of them are my brother and his kids and his wife. That's it. So my mom and dad are going to step in and then double the population of the entire fucking town. They're going to trip it into double digits. And then everybody's going to be like, whoa, we're a real town now. You're the mayor. Or they might even be king. Like, when it's that small of a town, you don't even have a government in place. It's just that if you're the town elder, they come to you for information. So Dan is like he might be the oldest guy living there now. He's going to sit there, and he's like 70, and he's going to be whittling on the porch, and everybody's just going to come up and ask him for all sorts of, will you chop our child in half because we can't figure out what was that, Job or whoever the fuck it was? It's not Job. No, there's all right, Sisyphus pushed the thing up the hill. That's not even in the Bible. What the fuck? What? Some mythology I know where they had to cut a kid in half. All right, so they'll come to Dan, and Dan will be the guy who has to make those decisions now in that town in South Dakota. All right. Although it's funny, now in Florida, they're just cutting kids in half. Nobody asked permission. They're like, yeah, that's not happening. So my mom and Dan, they're like, all right, they're going to get the summer home in South Dakota. My mom, and she laid out the whole plan. She's got it all squared away, and she's telling me on the phone. I'm like, well, that's great. Good for you. It's awesome. It's weird that you're leaving in 5 days, but that's fine. So then they go to Florida. And unfortunately, there's an illness in my family. So my mom and my stepdad have to keep coming back to Chicago. They can't settle in Florida. They were in Florida for a week, and then they had to come back for a week. And then they had to go back to Florida for a week. And then I wasn't talking to them because I was waiting for them. I think my family's weirder than your family. That's my guess, because I don't talk to anybody. I mean, I told you I have 4 brothers. I don't talk to any of them. I literally don't speak to them. Only one of them by choice, really. There's only one who I'm on the outs with that I don't. My oldest brother, I don't speak to. But then there's Glenn, Andy, and Scott, and Andy. You don't care. Nobody cares. All right, this is ridiculous. The bottom line is, like, I'm on friendly terms with Glenn and his kids, so that's cool. Scott, I could talk to. Like I could call him and he'd be like, "Hey, what's going on?" But it's not fair for me to talk to Scott because inevitably when I talk to Scott, he's so closely associated with Andy, and Andy is a fucking car wreck at this point. So whenever I talk to Scott, it devolves into "Have you heard from Andy?" And that's not fair to Scott. I don't want to do that to him. So instead, I choose to never speak to him at all. I just go ahead and step back and go, you know what? Not interested. Even though I am interested, but I am not, sort of. All right, so. And plus, they don't, literally, we live such different lives. We are so different. Like, Scott has, like, a real job and a real gig, and he's got, it's like, you ever read David Sedaris' books? Me Talk Pretty One Day or any of those books? Well, his family is ridiculous. And they've got Rooster, the fucking Rooster. Oh, my God, Rooster is hysterical. Like, if you haven't read them, read them. Amy Sedaris tells stories about Rooster, and fucking David does, too. And I read those stories and I laugh because I see my family. Like, it's just like, because David Sedaris is this erudite guy who writes books. He's a gay man who travels. He's well read. He's literate. He's all those things, and he's fucking hysterically funny. And then I read, and he's got this brother who's like setting fire to things. You know what I mean? Like that sort of dude. His name's Rooster, for fuck's sake. All right, see, you know where he's coming from. I'm not that bad with my brothers, but it's sort of like that. Like when I talk to them, they have no touchstone with what I do or anything at all. Like Glenn, I told you, Glenn listened to the show once, and it just happened to be the show where I talked about him and his big bag of porn. And it's like, I don't know if he was told to listen to that show or if he listened, because all he did was literally, I got a letter from him. I've told the story on here before. I got an email from him, and it just was like, listen to the show, very funny. And then I opened the letter and it just said, nope. So I'm guessing he didn't find it very funny. Because they just think I'm an asshole. You know what I mean? And I guess I am. I mean, that's the whole point, is I'm a professional asshole, and I do this show where I tell you fucking stories about everybody in the fucking world, and I scorched earth the shit out of it, and everybody's like, those people in the stories are like, haha, dick. So when I talk to them, it's like cool, because I'll talk about their kids and what they've got going on and stuff, and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, doing that show that you hate. You know what I mean? Like, because it's such a weird life. This is a weird life, all right? There's no doubt. You cannot tell me, if you had a friend and he was a comedian and he told stories and whatever, you would think it was neat, but at the same time, you would have no reference point whatsoever for it. You would have no idea, like, how to talk to him about that or relate to him. It's like, so what are you doing? Well, I work this job and I'm raising my kids and they're great, and Douglas is doing well. That's my nephew. And then they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I still talk in a stripper's kitchen once a week. It's funny. I have a lot of people who like it, and you could listen to it if you wanted to, probably, if you were interested in listening. No, fuck no. Sorry, not going to happen. There was another instance, too, where I talked about Glenn on here, and I did the Chuckles McBrown shorts thing. I talked about that, which is an actual story. We called them Chuckles McBrown shorts for a year. Like, literally, just kept, and so then Mex did an explosion of id. I am running, and it was literally like just Chuckles McBrown shorts. And I am running back into the warm embrace of Chuckles McBrown shorts. And my brother Glenn writes on it, and he goes, "What the fuck is this?" He goes, "I guess if I listen to your show or that thing you do, I would get this." Like literally, like this dismissive, the most dismissive 2 sentences in the history of the English language. What the fuck is this? I guess if I listen to that little thing you do, I would get it. Like it's like something that awful. And I was like, no, bullshit. I apologize. Because he wrote, "What the fuck is this?" And I wrote back, I go, "You don't recognize art when you see it?" Because I wanted to engage him in a discussion. "You don't recognize art when you see it?" And then he goes, "I guess this is from that little thing you do or whatever." And I said, "Yeah, don't worry. You're not missing nothing." Yeah, I was literally just, "You're not missing anything. Please continue to live your life with your children and your wife, and don't even bother to even..." Because you would hate it. You would just hate it. But part of me thinks he would think it was funny to a certain extent. And Jesus, Glenn could do one of these. He's fucking hysterical. My brother Glenn's hysterical. He was Rooster, and then he changed into another guy. Like he became a good dad and a responsible dude. But like if he wanted to tell stories about fucking shaving his eyebrows off and for Pink Floyd and all that nonsense, he would have great stories. Fucking doing so much acid, he forgot who he was, and he had to watch the clock for 8 hours. That's fucking beautiful. With his friends over and over repeating, "Your name is Glenn Schmidt. You live at 544 Nassau Drive in Bolingbrook, Illinois." And they kept telling him his buddies Buster and Fuge. God, Buster and Fuge and Fred Cook. Oh, Glenn had a friend named Fred Cook, and he was like a Satanist. So we used to call him Durf Kook, which was his name backwards because, Satan backwards masking. Dude, fuck Durf. Like, we hated Durf. And so Glenn had his friends, and they were all burnouts, and I hated him. And then they stole my Van Halen tickets. Oh, Durf Cook stole my Van Halen tickets. I knew he did it because I had them in my house and I had them on a shelf. And one day Durf Cook came over to hang out with Glenn, and like the next day my Van Halen tickets were gone. And I told Glenn, I go, I know he took them. And Glenn's like, come on, you're just always mean to Fred. And I'm like, fuck Durf. I go, I'm telling you, I know he took them. And so I told Glenn, I go, you listen to me, because I then bought other tickets because my tickets were in the balcony. They were shit tickets. But then I wound up buying main floor tickets from a guy. And like a week later, and I told Glenn, I said, you tell Durf, I know where those tickets were. And because I'm on the main floor, it's all this bullshit because I'm 17 or 16. I'm like, I have main floor tickets, which means I can walk anywhere in the building. I will go to those seats. And if he is sitting in those seats during the show, I will fucking murder him. I mean, it's not even a joke. I will fucking destroy him. Because I know he took them, and he can sell them, and if he sells them, those people are gonna tell me who they bought them from. I'm gonna find out one way or another, and I am telling you, I will fucking kill him. I will pitch him off the fucking balcony, and he will land on his fucking head. I don't care. And Glenn's just like, he didn't take them, man. I go, he took them. I know he took them. I go, he was the only other fucking guy in the house, unless one of you guys took them, and I know you didn't. So then I wound up going. It was the 1984 tour, and I actually wound up going. And sure enough, I went up to the seats, and there was nobody in the seats. Nobody was in the seats. Like the whole. I went up because I went up twice. I went up during the opening band, and then I went up actually in the middle of Van Halen. I took a walk, and I went up there, and there was nobody in the seats. And I asked the people, I was like, "Anybody sitting here?" And there's like, "No, leave us alone, Van Halen." Like they don't want to talk to me. So unless they put the whole section into it, it was like it was fine. So anyway, Glenn had his friends. Like, he could do one of these shows about his friends and those guys, Durf Cook and all those dudes. Absolutely. But then he hears me tell these stories and he thinks I'm an asshat. And it's like, dude, what? They're funny. They're funny stories, right? All right, never mind. Because wouldn't that be great? I wish I could have them on here to tell their version of my stories. Like if Scott could come on and tell the Check Out My Blade story. Like, I mean, it's just... That is the greatest story. And if he told it and from his viewpoint, what he was thinking when it happened, God damn it. That's year 5. Year 5, all of the people I've ever told stories about will get to come in and rebut everything I've done. They'll get to come in and tell their version of my story. Holy shit, would that be great? I thought about that. I actually had an idea for that. If there was any way I could stomach my brother, like, because my brother Lenny and I, we don't talk. We're not friends, whatever the fuck. And so we've butted heads. We've had all sorts of things happen. And I actually thought of an idea for not a one-man show, but a two-man show called He Said, He Said. And literally I would tell my version of the story, and then he would tell his version of the story. And then he would tell a version of a story, and then I would tell my interpretation of the story. Like, and literally it would just be a stage divided in half. Lights would come up on one side. I would tell that story. Lights down. Lights would come up on his side, and he would tell his story. It's a great idea if literally, if it wasn't for the fact that we would be dead at the end of the first performance. It would be opening and closing night as it just ended in a row. Like, literally, we're just all you would see. We'd have to be in cages? Cages, I don't mind. It's not a bad idea. I belong in a cage. He does not. I mean, he's like, again, trust me, everybody else has grown up at me, all right? Everybody else, they can function and do their thing, but inevitably I'll get overheated and then bad things will happen, and we don't want that to happen, right? Although now I'm past that. I'm certainly past that. I don't want to hit anything anymore. All right, But my mom is like gone, and then you won't answer any questions, and won't answer any comments, and won't answer any phone calls, and part of me. So I was getting to this. I apologize. This is my mom. All right, so they're traveling back and forth, so they have to come to Chicago for a week and then go back. So finally, I talked to my mom. She's like, because I did not. This is all right. This is what led me into that. I don't talk to family members for like weeks on end or months. I don't talk to anybody, and everybody else that I know talks to their mom every day or that sort of thing, which is fine. And it's not that I'm against it. It just doesn't come up. And it's so funny, Caramel. But I'm also like, I'm weird against it. I don't even know how to explain it. Because Karen will go, "Did you call your mom?" And I'll go, "Did you call my mom?" Like almost like it's a fight. Like, why the fuck am I supposed to call my mom every day? It doesn't make any sense. Or every week or every month. I mean, it doesn't, But because it makes them feel good. Idiot, they're your parents. That's why you call them and reach out. But what's funny is my mom won't call me. If my mom calls me, I know it's gone too long. Because I know she's mad then that I haven't called her. I mean, it's just, I'm a complex man. I'm a complicated man. No one understands me. Not even my woman. All right. So, I don't understand the talking thing. I mean, I do. I mean, I'd love to talk. I'll talk to my mom every day, but what am I going to say to her? Hi, I'm still a failure. I mean, she doesn't want to hear that. So until something good happens, there's no reason to talk to parents. This happened to me when I was a kid. All right, this is true. I lived in Southern California with my brother Lenny, and then I wound up getting the offer to go to Tahoe and work for this bookie guy. This dude, his name was Guy, actually. So I went to Tahoe, and then I lived there, and then I got a job as a house painter for a day, and then avoided that, and then I was running bets, and then all the money disappeared, and we were broke, and then everything went to hell, and I was walking around. I lost like 125 pounds because we had no money to eat and we were just walking everywhere. It was just everything hit the fan. And that was over 4 months or 5 months. I never called home. I didn't call my family. I didn't call my brothers. I didn't call my mom. I didn't call anybody because what was I going to tell them? Everything's awful and I'm living in the street. I mean, they don't want to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that you become a hobo. Nobody wants to hear that at all. And what's really funny is that's where Andy is now. And I guarantee that's why I haven't heard from Andy, because Andy, everything went to hell for Andy. All right, whatever. I can't even get into it. But the bottom line is, last I heard, he was living on the street. And then he kind of got himself straightened out. And he was at a VA home, like a VA center. And he was working these jobs that he would tell me them, because I offered him to come here. I said, move here, dude. I'll help you. We'll get through it together. But he wouldn't, and he didn't, and for various reasons, because for noble reasons, and then for completely ignorant reasons that if they're true, I don't know. But that's the problem. I used to get along with Andy better than any of my brothers. He was the one I spoke to. I spoke to him all the time, spoke to him every day. Even when he was in the Navy in San Diego, when he was here, I talked to him constantly, all the time. And then I found out that things had gone badly for him, and he lied to me. And he lied to me a lot. And when that happens, man, you don't know what to do. Like then you can't help them. You can't help somebody who won't help themselves because he's telling me that what he's doing, because I confronted him because I had information from several sources about things that were happening, and I'm being very vague, and I apologize. I know this show is usually all about whatever, but this isn't something that needs to be fucking put out there. Just suffice it to say, things went bad. So and I knew it from several different people and sources, and so then I would talk to him about it, and he would flat out lie to me. And once it gets to the point where, oh, that's why this is wrong, and that's why this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong. When everybody else is wrong but him, I know then that he's lying. You know what I mean? Like that thing, there's no way everybody I've talked to would have the same story and concerns, and then when you go to him, they're all crazy, but he knows what's up. You know what I mean? That's not true. And so I said to him, I go, look, you're really making it difficult for me here. You're making it very hard. I'm trying to help you, but I don't believe you. I just don't. And then that becomes a betrayal. Then they spin it on you. You know what I mean? That thing, or, oh, you don't believe me? Well, then why do I even talk to you? Like it's just a blow up as a way to sever ties rather than deal with the real thing. This happens with Karen and I sometimes when we fight. Karen and I will be fighting about one thing, and then she'll set 9 other fires about other things that have happened in the past. And as I'm running around stomping on those fires, we're missing the main fucking issue and nothing gets settled because she just doesn't want to deal with the main issue, which is the fact that she's wrong always. That's probably a lie. But she's wrong sometimes. But it's just that thing where, then you have, because we're trying to figure something out. We're trying to solve it. We're sitting there looking in each other's eyes and trying to fucking fix some stuff. And then you immediately just start throwing grenades about other bullshit that's happened like 4 years ago or 5 years ago. And remember when you did this? And it's like, yeah, I remember. That's over. All of that's over. Anything that's previous is dead. Anything that's fucking previous is dead. Right now, folks, where are we in this show? 30 minutes, 20 minutes? I don't fucking know. Everything I've said already is dead. Don't even fucking concern yourself with it until I loop back and I start to talk about it because I've forgotten some stuff. But that's what I'm saying. Past is fucking prologue, man. You don't even fucking think about it. It's not something that you should ever go ahead and bring up in a fight or in a discussion. Seriously. Because what if you had to deal with your past all the fucking time? What if any time you had a transgression, it got thrown into your goddamn face? You would never get anything done. You would never live a life. You know what? It's funny. Maybe that's why I don't talk to my mom, actually. Because what if I was talking to my mom and I was like, oh, well, that's how things go. And my mom said, you know what? Remember that time you and your 4 idiot friends destroyed my lawn? Like, what? When I was 10? Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, my God. That's 32 years ago. Drop it. And by 32, I mean 34. Holy shit. I lost 2 years. And I was so stunned, I lost 2 years. That's how shocked I was at my mom dropping that revelation in my lap. I lost 2 years in my plea. God damn it! Oh, but although to her, That's something she should remember, quite frankly, because that was a bad one. That was really bad. I tell that story on here, right?
I don't remember.
Oh, fuck. All right. I'll tell that story. When we were kids, we lived in Romeoville, Illinois, which I've talked about before. It's this white trash fucking neighborhood. And we were latchkey kids. So like all of our parents worked. Everybody on the block, their parents worked. So we would be all day long. We'd be playing baseball and then football, and we'd have BB gun fights, and we'd played poker with peanuts and climbing on roofs. We had bike races. Did I ever tell the story? I told that story about the bike race, right? When I learned my two-wheeler and I was driving it downhill. Did I tell that story? Look, folks, if I told this story or not, whatever the fuck. All right, I learned how to ride a two-wheeler, okay? And we bought a bike from some kid for $10. It was an awesome bike. It was red with those fucking like mag wheels, not like regular, but it had the squares on them, whatever the fuck those are. And it was badass. And so I learned how to ride a two-wheeler. And listen to me. Again, this is going to sound, just take this to heart right now. You're adults right now. You're all adults. You're grown up. Whether you're a Jolene sitting in your car in your Return to Sender shirt listening to this show, or whether you're a Joe the businessman from Atlanta on a plane going to meet elegant people in Japan listening to this show, or whether you're just a normal person who enjoys this show. No matter what your age group, if you're a child, whether you're the guy who wrote me a note today saying you found me on the Mark Maron show and you really like what I do, thank you. I'll answer your email in 9 months. But please know it's in the queue. Whether you're Matt, who just wrote me a note that said who shared way too much with me, did I forward that to you? He wrote a note to both of us. I got it yesterday, and Matt went ahead and told me something he should not have told me. It was awful. It was just like I'm reading it. It's like it started out as a typical like, "Hey, dudes, you guys are so great, and you get me through so many tough times, and I appreciate it very much, including this." Oh my God, no! Don't ever type that. You should never type those two words consecutively, whether it's true or not. Let's put it this way: one of the words was abscess. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Oh, no.
You don't need to know what the other word was, but Jesus fuck, it did not belong with abscess, and it certainly didn't belong in an email to a stranger. I know you think you know me, and we actually I think I've met this Matt. If I remember correctly. I don't know. I'll write him an email back in 8 months, but still, I don't want abscess. No, never type that in a note to me, ever. So, I don't know. How did I get into that?
No matter how old you are.
No matter who you are, no matter how old you are, no matter where your place in life right now. If you're a 75-year-old man, I've gotten a letter from a 75-year-old man. If you're a 17-year-old person who's in high school, if you're our friend Nicole in Canada, who I drunk dialed her mom one night, or actually she drunk dialed me and then I talked to her mom. If you're any of those people, all right, you will relate to what I'm saying right now. Is there anything more freeing in your life than the moment you're riding a two-wheel bike? Is there anything more ever in your life? I mean, because we all grow up. Everybody grows up. You get married. You have kids. I'm not saying it's the seminal moment in your life. I'm not saying it's the most unbelievable moment or the greatest moment in your life. But it may be the most, hey, I'm doing it. I'm free of the shackles of the world moment in your life. Because you're driving around, you're learning. And when you're learning, you don't know what to do. You keep falling. But when I rode a two-wheel bike for the first time, man, I started to drive and I'm falling down. I kept falling down. I was riding a 10-speed to learn. And then as all of a sudden the one time it started to go and you're going and you're up and you're not falling and you go, well, I can't stop because I'll never be able to do this again. It's that feeling when you're in your heart, you're like, I'm doing this and I can't believe I'm doing it. I've been trying so hard to do it. It's amazing. Things will never be the same. Things are changing and everything's coming up Schmidt. It's fucking amazing. But you also don't want to stop. As I'm riding my two-wheel bike and I'm riding it, because I'm afraid I'll never be able to do it again. So I rode the bike for like an hour and a half, man. I'm just driving through blocks in Romeoville, and it was fantastic. So then to get my own bike, because then you're mobile. It's like, walking is walking, and you're being a kid, you're tethered to your house. But the second you get a bike, possibilities are endless. You could go anywhere. You could do anything. You could fucking ride to China on your bike if you wanted to. As a kid, you think that. You probably can't. You could ride you could. You could ride your bike to China, but you would have to have a very, very long consecutive series of boats with ramps. Why didn't Evel Knievel ever do that? Why didn't Evel Knievel ever jump the Pacific Ocean, but in increments on boats? Like he should have kept jumping ramps on boats all the way to China. Holy shit! How great is that? That's amazing. If he just drives off the coast, like drive off the Santa Monica Pier and land on a boat deck and then just jump a ramp to another boat and jump a ramp to another boat all the way to fucking China. You could do that. We're doing it. That's year 5. All right, so because I've mentioned how freeing it is when you're riding a two-wheeler. I'm sure Evel Knievel felt the same thing. All right, I'm stupid. So when I was a kid, so we bought this bike for $10, and I'm like, this is awesome. So I started riding my bike everywhere, and then of course you start jumping ramps because that's what you do with your bike because you're not content anymore to just be free of the bonds of your home. Now you want to be free of the bonds of the earth. You want to free yourself from the clutching bonds of gravity. So you're going to jump ramps on your new bike. So we're jumping ramps, we're doing all that stuff. So then we started racing, and I lived on Gordon Avenue in Romeoville, and it was a hill. Like it started all the way up the top, and then it would go all the way down to the bottom of a hill. Like you'd be up at Peggy Scully's house at the top of the hill, or Steve Schaefer's house, even better. You'd be at Steve Schaefer's house, and then you would ride the bike all the way down to the bottom where Larry Swick lived. I mean, it was like that. It was this curvy like hill, and straight downhill from Steve Schaefer's all the way straight down to Larry Swick. It was like not quite San Francisco, but it was an incline. So we would get up to the top by Steve Schaefer's house, and you would ride your bike downhill like in a race, and then we'd have to get to the warehouse like past Carol's house. So I got into a race, and before my time, I should not have been in a race, folks. I had just learned the two-wheeler business. I had just apprenticed at Two Wheeler Inc. and just started branching out with my own two-wheeler, independent of all other two-wheelers. I'm like, all right, I can do this. So it was me and Luke and I think Robbie Hoffman, a bunch of kids, and we were all up there. And that's another thing, too, is it was a narrow street. You think when you're a kid, it's big because you're a kid. But then when I drive there now, and it's like two cars have to stop. They can't pass the same way. That's probably an exaggeration, but still. But we were like 9 bikes deep in this race. I mean, that's way too many. And we're going downhill, and I had no regard at all for my safety because again, you're on a bike, you're like, I'm free. So we're pedaling, and I'm pedaling fast, and you know that thing where you're pedaling so fast, the pedals, your feet fly off, like because you can't pedal anymore, and it's like everything goes to hell, and you're just trying to steer the bike at that point. Well, that's what I'm doing. And other guys are like standing up. They could do that thing where they stood up and pedaled. Not me, man. My fat ass was firmly planted on my seat, and I'm fucking pedaling, and I'm winning. I'm winning because I'm fat, and my legs are like stronger, so I'm getting ahead of them. And I guess I also had more momentum because we're going downhill and I'm fat. So we're rolling, and I'm on the two-wheeler, and I'm pedaling, and all of a sudden my feet just kind of like fly off the bike. But it doesn't matter. As long as I hold it tight, I'm still winning. I just got to get to the finish line. And then we get to the finish line, and I lose control of the bike, and I go over the handlebars. All right. And I landed on my knees. I've told this story. I swear to God, I've told this story. I'm wearing shorts. And I landed on my knees, and I probably skidded 40 feet.
Oh, ow, ow.
30 to 40 feet easily. And I'm just sitting there, and it was just, and I wasn't hurt. It was just more shock than anything else. Like I was lucky not to hit my head and die. And I stood up, and I swear to God, I told the story on here. I stood up, and I could hear crunching because there was so much gravel in my knees. Like when I stood up and straightened my legs out, it was like, because now it does it because I have arthritis in my knees. But back then it was because there was gravel. Like I looked down, and blood. I mean, it's just blood from my knees all the way down to my shoes, just running out because there's rocks all over the place. And then I'm trying to walk back to my house, and I'm making crunching noises from like rocks in my shoes and rocks in my knees, actually embedded in my skin. And I get in the house, and it's like it took a whole roll of paper towels to clean the blood off of my legs. Like because I'm smart. I immediately grabbed paper towels rather than wash it or whatever, but I didn't know what to do because there was rocks and dirt. And so then I went in and I washed it, and I shook. Luckily, it didn't go deep into my legs, but it was just all in there, and I had to shake it out and pick it out with a butter knife. Like we used a butter knife to like scrape all the rocks out of my legs. Yeah, and it's still bleeding and stuff. And it was like it hurts, but it was like I was more stunned, I think. And actually, my legs were numb too from having slid. So it was like there wasn't that much pain. It was strange. So how did I get into that? Why did I tell that story? I don't even know.
Talking about the front lawn that you ruined.
Oh, okay.
The side of your knees.
Yeah, my knees were bad.
Oh my God.
Well, it was fine. It was, and of course, then riding the bike again the next day, as always. Why not?
Oh man.
You're just getting scabbed over. Who cares? You're a kid. My God, I was free on the bike. I was free. I couldn't be tethered back to the earth. I needed to be free. So again, as latchkey kids, we did stupid shit like that. So one time, we used to play football at a place called the Field. We just called it the Field. And it was Illinois Bell had a building, and then behind it they had this wide open field, and we would play baseball and football there all the time. Well, I don't know why. Like we played football there one day, and then we came back. It was raining, okay, and it had rained, and we were like, well, we don't want to play football in the rain. And then we came back, and we were just throwing the football around in front of my house, and it was me, my brother Lenny, and this guy QJ who lived across the street, and Larry Swick, and then these guys. There were 3 brothers that lived on my block, and they were Alan, Dougie and Lily. Was it Dougie? I think it was Dougie. I know it was Alan and Lily for sure. Because they called him his name was Lee, but they called him Lily because it was a fucking hillbilly town. And so we start playing like kill the man with the ball in the street. You know, we're just throwing around and hitting each other like ha ha ha. So then and it had been raining. So then we were like, well, let's play football, but we didn't want to go to the field. So we played in my front lawn. And when I say front lawn, dude, it's a postage stamp. I mean, it's just like there's nothing. It's just a spot of grass. That's all it is. But we were playing and it was wet. And so we started playing tackle football in the grass. And then, because we're smart, we decided, hey, wouldn't it be funnier if it was like, because the rain had stopped and we were mad that the rain had stopped. So we turned the hose on. And we sprayed the hose like we were playing in the rain. We sprayed the hose in the air. And it was getting all over the lawn while we were running and tackling. And then we started just sliding on the grass. And when we were sliding on the grass, we were tearing up the grass and laughing. It was just this thing where all of a sudden there's like 8 dudes. You know what a slip and slide is? You know when you run and you dive on the slip and slide and you slide all the way to the end? Okay, we were doing that on my lawn with no slip and slide. We just used water from the hose and the grass, which then was getting destroyed. And it was mud. Like we turned our front lawn into mud. And we were fucking filthy. Like I don't know what we were thinking. Again, it's that thing where as little kids, you just start doing stupid shit. Like I said, with the peanut butter, you know, we're playing poker with the peanuts. Then we just started smashing them with a broom handle. And like all of a sudden at the end, you're just like, oh. And you look around and there's shit all over the place. You're like, oh no, what the fuck just happened? So we did that. We were running and we're sliding in the lawn and we're laughing and we're joking and we're covered in filth. We're so muddy, all of us. And Alan and Lily, they're so filthy. And even their hair is like muddy and gross. And we're diving and we're tackling each other and we're laughing. And as we're doing it, we lose track of time. And my mom pulls up. Normally my mom would show up and there would be elements of carnage that she would see, or we would do our best to clean it up. This time she actually fully witnessed 8 dudes just destroying the fucking lawn. And she pulls up and she's at her orange Pinto comes down the street. And I remember Alan goes, is that your mom? And we were like rolling around like, we're like smashing dirt into each other's face. And we look and we're like, oh. And we're coated in mud. We're coated in mud. And my mom turns into the driveway. She gets out of the car and she just sees us. You. Get in the fucking house. You. Fucking go home. Like literally just points at us to get in the fucking house and then points at Alan and Lily and them. You in, you out. Get the fuck out. Like, and they're like, all right. Well, and they just walk off filthy. And we walked in the house and we got the shit kicked out of us. I mean, just for destroying the lawn. And the thing is, we destroyed the lawn. Like it never grew back. Because it wasn't like, and again, it wasn't like a lawn like where you took care of it. It was just the grass in front of your house. You know what I mean? And we would cut it when it needed to be cut, but we didn't fucking care, whatever happened. But no, it didn't matter anymore. We then had a dirt patch in front of our house. All of the grass was gone and dead and torn up. And my mom was just like, because again, it was a shithole anyway. We had destroyed the fuck out of the house. There was peanut butter on the ceilings, all sorts of terrible shit. Because again, my mom didn't live there. It wasn't even a house, all right? It was a container for assholes. That's all it was. Literally, it wasn't even a home. It was a container for assholes. It was like a habit trail, or like you know how you have an ant farm and you just look at them and you stare. That's just a place for them to live. They'd rather be outside and doing shit. They're feral. Ants are feral, and my brothers and I were feral. Like it wasn't even a house. It was just a coffee can. She just locked us in and punched holes in the ceiling so we could breathe occasionally. Man, were we fuck ups. And again, I'd love to get all my brothers on here to tell their stories, but unfortunately, one of them lives in the street, and another one wants nothing to do with me, and then the other one winds up talking about the kid who lives in the street, and it's terrible. Can't happen. He said, man, it's a podcast. Maybe I do that as a podcast. Not even a live show, because then I'm not even in the same room. Then I don't even have to be in the same room with that person. It's like, and we don't have to worry about the lights cues and all that bullshit. It's just I'll record this, and then he can record his, and we'll stitch it together. There's some work for you, Lily. All right, good for you.
Sounds great, thanks.
Oh, don't be a dick. You know what? I told Lily today, I'm like, hey, we got some stuff we got to do. She's like, I'm busy the next 2 weeks. Because she's meeting with some people. I don't want to give away what she's doing, but it's like, she's like, no, I can't. We can do that like 2 weeks from now. And I'm like, okay. Because again, folks, my company is not a well-paying company. I mean, we pay a little, but certainly not nearly enough to get people to postpone things that they have on their mind and that they're doing for their real lives. So So I tell her, like, we got to do this. I anticipate we got to do it that day or the next day once I get all the things that I need. And instead, I'm being told that basically she'll do it when she can, which it's not acceptable to me whatsoever. I don't want to hear that at all. Nobody wants to hear that, right? That's like, what if you said that to your kid? What if you said to your kid, hey, I want you to clean your room? And he said, I'll do it when I can. You'd knock the shit out of that kid, right? Maybe you wouldn't hit him. I'm probably not going to hit Lily. Unless she wants me to. If she really wants me to, I'll take a poke at her. But all right, just checking. Hey, also, let's talk about this for just a second. You guys wrote me about static in last week's show. It's been happening, and it's happening in this show too. And we caught it, luckily. But I don't know what it is. We don't know. We have no idea. It just sort of happened. And I'm guessing it's a ghost. We've talked about it before. That happened on this show before. There was a ghost trying to burst in and say, save me from the other side. And then Lily, of course, then took a break. And she and I we ate fried chicken with maggots on it. And we pulled all our skin off of our face. So that happened. You don't remember when that happened this past summer? Maybe that was, you know what? Maybe that was Ghost You. That might have been me with Ghost You, who went ahead and took care of that. And then an old man came to the door, literally, and this just happened. An old man knocked at the door and went, "You're not gonna die." That's Poltergeist 2. All right, so, or is that Poltergeist 1? No, the old man's in Poltergeist 2 because they amped up the crazy. Poltergeist 1 is just the film crew and then the maggots and the crawling steak. The maggots burst out of the steak, and it's because it's crawling around the counter, and then the guy pulls all the skin off his face. And then there's an evil clown. Fuck, hold on, this is Poltergeist 1. This house is definitely Poltergeist 1 because there is an evil clown lurking throughout.
Aww,
What?
Evil.
He's still evil, though. No, his mustache is evil. All right, so, come on. That's awful. That thing is horrendous. And it's razor-tipped. He's like a villain from Wild Wild West. He's going to go ahead and fight those dudes. I forget their names. It's James Arness and another guy. I can't remember that, but their names, I can't remember their names. Fuck, I hate it. Because after I saw the movie, I put it all out of my head. I don't ever want to remember that at all. Except
That's a great film. What is wrong with you?
I'm going to clothesline you because I think you're kidding and trying to.
Wild West?
With Will Smith and Kevin Kline.
Yes, it was awesome. The hot tub scene. Oh, that whole movie was great.
Well, for Gabrielle Union's boobs floating in the hot tub, yeah, that's it. But
was great.
it went downhill from there. You are incorrect. Giant mechanical spider.
You're wrong.
Dr. Lovelace.
You're wrong. It was awesome.
Wow.
That spider was.
You know what's funny is this is Lily thinking she needs to help me because I don't know what I'm going to talk about. So she's trying to start a weird fake.
You're totally wrong.
No, you're completely trolling because you're just like starting a weird argument about a movie that was horrendously bad.
Fucking awesome.
Grim. Totally bad.
Started steampunk.
The worst of all. Good. Well, again, like I said, awful. Horrendous. And really, that started steampunk? Wild Wild West? Wasn't steampunk? Isn't that from like the 60s or like a million years ago?
Really launched into the mainstream the way Madonna launches like Vogue and that kind of stuff.
Mex's dog is named Rogue. And so every time I was at his house, when I'm at his house, I just kept saying, "Don't just stand there. Let's get to it. Strike the pose. There's nothing to it. Rogue." And I would say that about his dog. And then nobody thought it was funny ever. Nobody. They're just like, "You are an idiot." And I'd say, "Yes, of course." There's nothing worse. Oh, and I should tell you, because I saw my godson and his sister. Like, Mex's kids are basically like, I consider them my relatives, basically. And it's so funny because they're growing up, so now they have nothing to do with Uncle Mike. They do. They laugh. They still think I'm funny to a certain extent, but at the same time, it's not like it used to be where they, but again, that's just me. I need attention. I need all the attention. So I was at their house and it was great. It was really fun. And when I would talk to them, it was great. They were really cool. But it was that thing where they were just like, "Okay, we're done with Uncle Mike now," and they could walk away. And because they have books and toys, they used to be fascinated by me. Just like you guys did. But now all of a sudden I hear you now switching off your iPods and yanking the cord out of your iPod vagina because you want to go with books and toys. Whatever. I was talking about something before the static interrupted. Well, you're very busy. That can't be discussed. Because I have this thing that it's a project that I needed to do, and Lily's just like, "Well, we'll get to it in a couple of weeks." And the best part is she opens her calendar, and there's like 12 empty days, but she's like, "Oh, I know I got something on that day, and I got something." Well, put it in your calendar. Because now I think you're just making shit up to avoid doing the work we have to do. And then I'm like, "Hey, there's another thing that we have to do. It's kind of important for year 5." And she's like, "Well, we can do like a couple of those a week." "No, I'd like to do them all at once. Is that okay?" "No, that doesn't work for me at all." "Well, what? We have to do it. It has to be done. You work here. You wouldn't tell your boss you can't do shit?" All right, so. But again, it's that thing where I have nothing. I guess I could do it myself at my house. I suppose I could try, but that would be awful. Literally year 5 will be amateur hour. Like if I start doing the thing, you know what? I'm taking the reins on production. Awful. The whole thing crashes and burns. All right. So, but they have to get done. Like all right. Cause I need to do like 100 things. But but she wants to do them 5 at a time, like every other week. She wants to do 5 a week until they're done. And but I want to have the cash of 100. I want all of them to choose from. Because what if number 71 is better than number 4? Then I need to take 71 and use that one first. All right. That's why I want them all done at once, because then they're all done. They're all done. I don't have to go, oh, we missed one or we skipped one, or because especially if we do 5 at a time, that's for 24 weeks. We're going to be doing them all. Do them all at once. Do one day. Take one day with me. I'll buy you a sandwich. We'll get them done. Crazy. All right. I don't get it, folks. Why won't anybody do what I ask? Why won't anybody do the things that I want them to do? Do what I say, damn it. I'm powerless. All right. So my mom, she's going to get a summer home. She's going to move to Florida. All that stuff's going to happen. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. And then she doesn't talk to me on the phone. I finally talked to her after like 5 weeks, and she's like, "Oh, I'm glad you got a hold of me." I said, "Yeah." And she said, "We've been here for 2 weeks now. It's our longest consecutive time here in Florida." And I said, "Oh, that's great." And she goes, "Yeah, we've been going back and forth because she's sick and this person's sick, and we got to go back. We're checking on things, but we've been here now for 2 weeks." I said, "That's great." And I said, "It's warm there, huh?" She goes, "Oh yeah, it's real warm." And I go, "Yeah, you're lucky. You're missing the bad snow that they got in Chicago." She goes, "I miss it." I went, "I'm sorry, pardon me?" She goes, "Yeah." She goes, "It's just not the same down here because it's just sunny and there's the snow, and I do like the seasons. I do like the change of seasons." And I'm like, "Mom, you are not talking yourself out of Florida in 2 fucking weeks. You're joking, right? You're fucking joking." And I didn't put it, of course, like that. But I said, "Mom, you're not talking yourself out of Florida." "Oh, no, it's nice, I guess, but it's not, I do like the seasons, and I don't know if I can get used to this down here. I really don't. I really don't think I can get used to this." And I'm like, and that's my mom. She's already, this plan that they had forever to move. They were going to go, and she's been there 2 fucking weeks, and she doesn't like it. I picture her just sitting in her house and not going outside. And the thing that, what's funny about it? I know my stepdad, he may have already dyed his hair blonde. He's like, he is so into Florida. I picture him windsurfing with just a tank top on. Just hasn't worn shoes since they got to town. He's that dude. Literally, he's a Jimmy Buffett song come to life. That's what my stepdad is. Because he's so happy to be out of the cold, so happy to be out of Chicago, and he's probably taken to Florida like a goddamn. He's there. He's running. I'm sure he's made 1,000 friends. He's got to be so happy. And I just picture my mom miserable sitting in the house. And I will say this: I love my mom, but part of the reason that she's probably miserable is because my stepdad is so happy. I can almost guarantee it. She sees how much he loves it, and then she's just like, "Well, he's never been this happy before. How come he wasn't this happy before?" My mom is me. That fucking Pandora's box of a head. She took the key and opened it up, and all the bullshit is flowing into Florida. And she's looking around, and she's like, this isn't all it's cracked up to be. I don't think I like it. You don't like it because he likes it. That's the only fucking reason you don't like it. Because my mom is an expert at making herself miserable. Oh my God. Well, my mom, you think I can run downhill bitching? Holy shit. My mom... fuck a 2-wheeler. My mom's in a jet plane going downhill, bitching and finding a reason to be upset and pissed off and not happy. And look, Florida's a fucking nightmare. We get that on the whole. But if you're an old person just living near the Gulf of Mexico and the breeze in your hair and it's nice out and you can plant a garden and you can go out for clams or whatever the fuck you do when you're old, how would you not love it? How would you not love it? But my mom already is like, she's already stiff-arming the whole fucking thing. And now part of me is wondering, when I don't get her on the phone, I'm sure my stepdad probably just chopped her up into bits and buried her in some sand because because she probably bitched and moaned, and then she's like, "I don't think I like it here." And he's like, "Ha ha, no problem." Chop, chop, dead. Windsurf. Tan. Oh, Christ. He's just, I picture my stepdad. He's just got a grill that he made out of an old wastebasket, and he's just cooking prawns on a skewer. He took an old TV antenna, a car antenna, a radio antenna, and he snapped it off and he turned it into a skewer, and he just puts live prawns on it, and he cooks them over a charcoal in an old hollowed out wastebasket. He's just adopted himself completely to that area. And my mom is just sitting in the house, pasty and furious. Oh my God. So maybe that's why I'm not getting her on the phone. She's dead. He fucking took her top of her head off. Yeah, I should go investigate. That's what I need to do. I need to get my brothers and I into a windowless tweakedaudio.com/40 rape van and we need to drive to Florida to investigate the disappearance of my mother. That's what we need to do. Holy shit. We won't make it 5 blocks without a death in the van. It will go from rape van to death van in 5 blocks. Me and my 4 brothers, 5 dudes in one, and just literally death. A van filled with rage, just steamrolling toward Florida. And it's like the Survivor Series. Whichever one of us is still alive by the time we get there needs to investigate the death of my mother. That's going to be it. It's just going to be me and Glenn and Lenny and Andy and Scott. And you know what? We'll stop in Illinois and we'll pick up Buster and Fuge and Durf Kook. We'll get my brother's old friends and let them hop on board. We'll get Mike Galazeski and all my brother Scott's old friends. God damn it. It's awesome. All right. I'll bring Durf Kook. We'll stop and see Van Halen. Why not? Look, let bygones be bygones. And then I'll kick the shit out of him and have David Lee Roth yell at me in the middle of the goddamn show. That'll happen. Did you see that? Did you see that clip? Oh my God. There's this awesome clip and here's why I love this clip. You guys don't care, all right? You're tired of hearing me talk about Van Halen. Go listen to the Rock Solid podcast. I got it all out there, but I still want to talk about it here because the album is fucking amazing. But there's a clip of a show for Van Halen did last night, and they start playing Pretty Woman, and Dave's on stage, and it's they're letting people film all the stuff and putting it on YouTube. So Dave's on stage and he starts singing Pretty Woman. And he's distracted. You can see him. He's looking in the crowd, and I this is all right. I love the fact that they're together, and I love the music that they're making, but this is going to sound so stupid, and I don't know why this is important to me, but the fact that they look happy on stage makes me so happy that they're enjoying themselves on this tour, that it wasn't just like a money grab and they got together. Eddie looks fucking revitalized. He looks reinvented. He looks rejuvenated. He looks something else with an R-E in it. He looks fucking amazing. And he's duplicating stuff from the studio live on stage, and it's just to see him bringing it to the stage. And then Wolfie is really good on bass; he's doing very well. And then Alex is a fucking monster. They're a battleship. And the fact is, the band is great. All right, and then there's Dave, and Dave is just Dave. And people are out there like, oh, he's corny and he's a dipshit. No, yeah, okay, yeah, but he's still David Lee Roth. What the fuck? Blue-eyed murder in a size 5 dress. Done. Give him a pass. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. But he is a dork. I get it. Dave is a fucking idiot. But he also has... I'd rather see that than some serious asshole staring at his shoes. I don't know. I guess... I won't lie to you. Dave live is you got to be ready for it, because all it is he's the host. Dave's not even the singer anymore. He's not even like the front man. Dave is just the host of the Van Halen show with the most amazing fucking house band in the world. That's all it is. Because Dave will tell you a stupid story about his dogs, or he'll walk around and talk about being an ambulance driver, and then he'll go off and look, go watch any clip online. He doesn't know the words to any of the songs. He'll fucking tap dance his way through it, but because I know, look, I'm a fan. I know the words to every song. So I'll start in my head just mentally singing the song, and Dave's fucking so far off. And he used to be as a kid too, you know what I mean? Or when he was 30, whatever the fuck, kid, whatever. But they would be on the road and he'd be drunk. Go watch the clip of the US Festival. They opened with Romeo Delight, and it's like he's singing, he's like, and it's my favorite part because the opening line is we're in hell, no special reason, watch the light, cause I ain't leaving. Dun-dun. We're in for a very long night. Sir, heard a vicious rumor from your mother's tongue. You're a desperate woman, need a man with a gun. High crime zone in the city of lights. Now think of that right there. He wrote that too. So fuck yeah, back off. He wrote, heard a vicious rumor from your mother's tongue. You're a desperate woman, need a man with a gun. High crime zone in the city of lights. Baby, please. Can't take it anymore. Fucking Van Halen. All right, so Romeo Delight's a fucking amazing song. They opened it at the US Festival, and literally, it's like, Dave is like, yeah, like that's how he gets through it, and the music is still fucking hard charging and coming forward, and he says this thing where he just goes, all right, like it's just that's his substitution for a whole chorus at one point. And then he actually, because he used to cop to it on stage, he used to do it every night. He used to do that thing where, hey, I'm going to fuck your girlfriend who's throwing joints at me. Those were things he did in every city. And he'd always go, I forgot the fucking word. Boom, boom, baby, please. And they'd charge forward. But he could have done that with every song because he forgot the words to every fucking song. So now you see the clips, and like even in Pretty Woman, he doesn't know the opening verse of Pretty Woman. Like he just kind of tap dances through it. They're doing, and they're bringing out, this is why I have to fucking see them. They're bringing out all these old songs, these deep album cuts. They did fucking Hang 'em High off Diver Down the other day. You don't care. Nobody cares. I care. If I was in the room, and that's the thing is, I'm trying to stop watching them on YouTube because I don't want to know what they're doing. I want to be surprised live. But of course, because they did surprise me. Like I didn't know the set list when I saw them in 2007, and then when they did Jamie's Crying back to back with little guitars, oh my god, I think I actually stuck my dick in somebody's ear. I mean, it's like fucking amazing. It was like it had to be done. It had to be done. And that person was more than happy to do it because they still had one ear free. They're like, yes. She was thrilled. So anyway, I'm watching this clip where they start Pretty Woman, and Dave's like a little distracted, and the things like I said, there's the band is amazing, and then there's Dave, and this reunion thing. It's kind of like Van Halen's always been Van Halen, but then they let Dave come back. And even in these these interviews that he's been doing with the band, where he sits there and he talks, like they've been doing these black and white clips where Eddie and Alex will talk about the old days, and Dave will basically serve as the interviewer, and he asks them questions, and they don't have like a friend vibe. Like it's like Eddie and Alex are one person. Literally, they're just a guitar and a drum with feet. You know what I mean? Just storming forward, and they're not human beings. It's almost like they're creatures of their instruments. They're so shy and weird. And then Dave is a nut, and there's that weird palpable tension where they're kind of like, Dave's a fucking nut, right? We all know Dave's a nut. Like they don't get along with him, it seems like, but on stage it works. So I was, unfortunately, this is one thing, and again, it means nothing to you guys, but to me, to see them happy and on stage together is great, and to see Dave walking over to Eddie and putting his arm around Eddie and them smiling, I love that part of it. I don't want to just see them be mercenaries. But at the same time, there's this overwhelming vibe that the band is the band and Dave's along for the ride. There hasn't been any weird meshing where it looks like they're all together. It's not, to me, it's just a small thing. But as a lifelong fan, I don't see it as this is Van Halen back. And when I see them live, maybe it'll be different. Because even in 2007, it just seemed like it was almost surreal. I couldn't even believe it was happening in 2007. I was like, I didn't think I'd be in the room with them all at the same time playing. It made no sense. But then the album came out, and the album is so fucking good. And I can't stress that enough to you guys. It is so good. And you don't care again. And you'll listen to it and you'll be like, it stinks. And I've already heard from people, hey, the lyrics are corny. Hey, this. Good. I don't care. Pat, my buddy Pat, who I was on the Never Not Funny Presents Rock Solid podcast with, he forwarded me an email from a buddy of his, and the buddy was like, hey, thanks for sending that Van Halen album. I couldn't get through it. I listened to like the first 3 or 4 songs, and it just doesn't work, and the lyrics don't work, and I'm not into it, and I don't know if you were a fan of Van Halen how you can feel that hearing this album, because it is 1982 on a disc. They went back and recreated everything. It's amazing. But it also still feels a little bit mercenary, like Dave is just kind of along for the ride. Like they didn't seem like a real band, even because even knowing how they did the songs, they took old songs, then Dave repurposed his vocals in a different studio. It just all seems detached until there's a clip online, and they start singing Pretty Woman, and a fight breaks out in the crowd during Pretty Woman, and Dave, as he's singing, he looks, and you can kind of see like a weird thing from the angle. And then he's singing, he's like Pretty Woman walking down the street. And I think he's even getting the words wrong there. And then he actually goes, hey, stop. And he turns to the band and he waves his arm, and the band stops. They just stop. And Dave looks at the crowd and he goes, knock off the fucking fighting. Fuck you. And the whole crowd like cheers. But it's also that weird moment where like the TV came to life, like that strange... We're watching. All of a sudden, they're singing "Pretty Woman," and all of a sudden, Dad's mad. And then he says that, and then the people cheer, and he looks at the audience, and he goes, "You think this is a fucking mosh pit? You got some of the fucking hottest women on the fucking East Coast in this fucking crowd." And of course, the place goes crazy because he just pinged the hot women for the East Coast. And but the thing that made me laugh is Dave is always jovial and nice. He's like, that's the whole thing. He's the Toastmaster General for the immoral majority, as he'll tell you himself. But to see him get mad was so weird, and to see him say, first of all, he said fuck like 9 times in 5 seconds. He did an episode of my podcast. He just went up there. David Lee Roth did an episode of my podcast on stage in 5 seconds. Bam, just drop all these F-bombs on everybody. And I pictured the two dudes, like, I guess they stopped fighting. Like, literally, they just kind of stopped, like, oh yeah, Dave told us to stop fighting. But the thing that I loved about it the most is that because then he's like, I'm on your side, and then everybody cheers. He makes it all happy again, and then he looks back at the band. He goes, "Shall we continue?" And they kind of look at him. They kind of like go to start, and he goes, "No, take it from the top, Al. Let's take it from the top again." And they do. And just seeing that part made me realize they're a band. Like, it made me so happy that he was able to stop, because I mean, he could have been like, stop, and they were like, fuck you, and just kept playing. You know what I mean? Like, it just, because there's always that weird disconnect where Dave's doing his Dave stuff and Eddie's doing the band stuff. But for him to be able to turn and wave at the band and just go, stop, and they stopped on a fucking dime, which shows me that they're used to him doing it. So maybe he runs rehearsals. And I go, I know I'm projecting. I'm making up a whole bunch of shit that I want to be true. But it made me think that maybe Dave has a lot more sway and a lot more power in this than I thought he did. He's not just along for the ride. Dave runs the band. Dave runs the show. And Eddie runs the music, and Dave runs the front of the house. You know what? Eddie's a chef. He's in the back of the house, and he's preparing a tasty dish for you. And Dave's front of the house. He's going to make sure that you have the best possible time. But at the same time, he can go in the bag anytime he wants and stop back at the house. That's who Dave is. Dave runs the whole thing. Dave runs the whole restaurant. Eddie's certainly back at the house, and Eddie's name is on the front. It's Van Halen's. When you go to Van Halen's, you know exactly what you're getting, and Dave's there to make you feel good about it. But if Dave wants to stop it, he can at any moment. And I loved it. It made me, like I said, it brought me out to the point where I was like, they're actually a fucking band. They're a band because they stop on a goddamn dime when he waves his arm at him. You do not care about this at all. I get it. But Jesus, did it make me happy. It made me even more excited to see the show. It made me even more happy and excited to see them. And I don't even know where I'm seeing them yet, because I can't see them here June 1st because I'm in Boston. And then they're here June 9th, and I'm probably going to see them here June 9th, and they're going to be in Vegas, and they're going to be in Chicago again later in the year. So I'm debating whether to see them, because now with them pulling out all these old songs, man, I want to see them multiple times now to see different songs, which makes it a good thing, but also a bad thing. See, I can't decide whether to see them once and pay for really good seats on Eddie's side of the stage, or see them multiple times and be in their house when they play different songs. Because, dude, when they played Hear About It Later in Indianapolis, and because they hadn't played it yet, and that's my favorite song of all time by Van Halen. You don't care, nobody cares, and I get that. I understand that, folks. I'm just belaboring the point. But like I said, I don't know where I'm going to see them. I don't know if I'm going to see them here. I'm going to see them in Chicago. I'm going to see them in L.A. Or maybe I see them in Florida. Maybe I see them. You know what? That's what I do. Again, me and my brothers, and we get all of my brothers' friends, and we hop into the fucking tweakedaudio.com/40 murder van, and we ride down to goddamn Florida to check out Van Halen and investigate my mother's death. All of us together. And I'll tell you what, boy, if you thought my fucking house when I was a kid was a container of assholes, how fucking tight and confined is the tweakedaudio.com/40 murder van? That is a serious container of assholes. You got to punch a ton of holes in the top of that, because it's got me, my brothers, all my brothers' friends. Holy shit. Fuck, it's not even a murder van. That's an asshole van just rolling down to Florida to investigate the death of my mother. And by the time we get there, there's one of us alive. There's just one dude and a body of strewn bodies throughout the landscape. Holy shit. And then and I'll get Van Halen tickets. I'll investigate the death of my mother, and me and the Durf Cook will get good seats, and I'll just beat the shit out of him, and Dave will yell at me. That's all I want to do this summer. God damn, this summer's picking up. You guys can get me at Mike at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You can be my friends at Facebook.com/the40yearoldboy. You can follow me at Twitter.com/the40yearoldboy. You can follow our friend Lily Von Stupp at 2 Twitter accounts, Twitter.com/Lily Von Stupp or Twitter.com/MNTs. You can be your friend at Facebook.com/the40yearoldboy. And if you want to give her a personal note, if you want a personal touch, folks, you want to reach out and touch Lily in a personal way. If you want to go ahead and find out exactly what is wrong with the world of burlesque this week, you can go ahead and write her a personal note at Lily at burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com.
No, I'm doing something. I will. I'm doing something. As soon as I'm finished. Yes, I'm using a coaster. Fans of the 40-year-old boy, this is Parker from Pod Gods telling you to go to Zazzle.com/40-year-old boy. Zazzle.com/40-year-old boy. Please buy all this. Please buy all. Please. Stupid.
Want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine. 10 o'clock p.m. is showtime for that show. I know a lot of the performers involved in the show, some of the hosts, I know some of the dancers, but more importantly, I actually know the person who puts that show together. I know the producer of that show, the person who is the brains behind the longest running and most successful burlesque show in the history of Los Angeles. That's my friend Lily Von Stupp. Hey, Lily.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great.
Good. That's good news. How's your epiglottis this week?
It's pretty good.
That's fantastic. Did you see the explosion of Ed?
I did.
He gave you an awesome tongue. I saw that picture. I was like, yeah.
Eddie hadn't heard it yet, and he goes, "Why is Mike climbing in your mouth?
Aha.
What happened on the podcast?"
There was epiglottis problems, which should have been the name of the show, quite frankly. But yeah, I loved it. I saw that. I was laughing. I was like, yes. I was laughing. Listen, folks, you need to know everything I do at every minute. How was the Monday Night Tease this week?
It kicked some serious ass.
It was great. I understand that people were showing you naked pictures of themselves.
Yes, they were. They were earning Girl Scout Monday Night Tease merit badges.
And what do you get for showing a nude picture of yourself?
Well, if you had a nude picture of yourself on your phone, you got a whore badge.
Okay.
Yes. If you showed me a picture of your girlfriend nude on your phone,
Yes.
Your girlfriend got a slut badge, and you got a dick badge for showing me a picture of your girlfriend naked.
Very nice. I like the way that works.
Yes.
And some guy actually showed you a picture.
Came up on stage so proud, and frankly, she was fucking hot naked.
Oh, and so
I wasn't upset.
was she
about it.
there?
Oh yeah, she was standing right next to him, beaming.
Excited. Look at me. Here I am naked.
That's me.
Slut badge. So I'll get my whore badge before I leave, is what you're saying?
Probably.
All right, because I earned it. Believe me. I won't prove it,
It
but
was
trust
all
me.
in good fun.
All right. Well,
Slut in the positive sense.
yeah, but whore badge just for having, if you have a naked picture of yourself on your phone or whatever, or part of you, then all right. Well, then I
Just a whore badge.
get that badge before I leave.
Oh, because you have to show me the photos.
I will not get that badge
You're not gonna get
because you don't want to see the photo. Why would you want to see the photo?
I'd love to see a naked photo of you.
Would you really?
Yeah, let's bring it
Hold
out.
on, let's pull
bring
it
it
out.
out.
Hold
let's
on.
do it live on the air.
I'm gonna do it. You're not gonna like it.
Let me get that whore badge ready.
Hold on. Go to here.
You're actually unlocking your phone.
Yeah. You want to see it? You want to talk? You want to talk shit? There you go. No, I can't show it to you. I know. I won't. I show. It's actually.
That's a naked picture of your face.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, that's all.
You're a puss. You get a puss badge.
I'll
That's
take the
what
puss
you
badge.
get, a
Actually,
pussy badge.
let's put it this way. If it was up to me, I would earn the whore badge. I think there might be someone else out there who would not be too interested in me earning the whore badge, and is more than happy to see me get the puss badge. And that's all I'm saying. maybe I'll text. If I text it to you, it won't be so. It'll be an accident. Oh my god, I accidentally sent it. All right, so the Monday Night Tease this week was fun, and then who's coming up this week? Who's going to be there?
Doc and Stumpy get lucky. It's our after St. Patrick's Day show.
How are Doc and Stumpy doing?
Good. Really
I understand.
Good.
I heard there was trouble in paradise.
No, they're great.
They're fine. They're getting along.
No, they're fine.
All right, good. I
What
would.
are you talking
I
about?
don't know. I think it's funny. It's ridiculous. I don't know these fucking guys.
Problem.
It just makes me laugh to think that there would even be a problem, and I would know. Like I would have any idea. Oh, Jesus! I heard things were going well with them. What? And you're the best. You're like, what are you saying? Nothing. I'm sorry. And now they're going to hear this because I know Doc. The problem is Doc loves the show. Stumpy not a fan. So that's Doc's going to hear it and he's going to say, "What did Stumpy say to him?" Because he knows because Stumpy might not like the show, but he and I are still very good friends off the show. I'm so close with both of them as they both fiddle with their ties like fucking Stan Laurel, and I sit there and they hit each other with pies in the face while I try to order a breakfast. Fuck that. Not a fan. All right, so I don't know. I've never met them. I don't know if I'm not a fan or a fan. Who knows? I'm sure they're wonderful people. So Doc and Stumpy get lucky this week. And are you performing?
I am. I'm performing. Always look on the bright side of life because when you think Irish and St. Patrick's Day, you think liquor tits.
Bingo. That's perfect. So, all right. Well, that's good. So that should be a ton of fun there. And do you have Irish, like an Irish? Because one time didn't you have like a step band or a step dancing troupe or something? Or
I had a clogger there once.
that might be it.
I have a clogger in this show.
Oh, good.
And we have a what's the Lord of the Dance act? in
Oh,
this show.
nice. Little
There's
Flatley.
A couple leprechauns in the show.
Perfect.
It's gonna be great.
Actual dwarf leprechauns?
No,
Midgets?
people on their knees with shoes strapped to them.
Well, I mean, let's face it. There's people on their knees in your show every week.
All the dwarfs I know are very busy.
Of course they are. They have like 3 times a year when they're busy, and this is certainly one of them. They just pull that musty green vest out of a trunk.
My dwarf friends.
And you know what's so sad about that statement right there? You can mean that. You actually have all of your dwarf friends. It's not like
2 dwarf friends and 1 midget friend.
yeah.
And I know the difference.
Oh Christ! All right. Yeah, midgets are
I
jagoffs.
know they make you uncomfortable.
Who midgets and dwarves?
Yes, they make
No, it's not even about the size. They're the tiny little people. It's just they themselves are surly and angry, and plus their teeth are so pointy. They are, and they eat human flesh. They do. Midget feet are awful. Holy shit! You ever see a midget foot, like an exposed midget foot?
What is wrong with
Dude, midget feet look like Gollum walked through a fire. Oh my god! It's just this mound of molten flesh at the end of a knobby tiny leg, and then they got that. But then they got those weird haunches. Like those weird, like they're, creepy. All right, so go see that this week. I'm going to earn my staying away from the creepy midget badge.
There aren't any midgets in this show.
So you say.
Yes,
So you
so
keep
many.
saying. I think this is all a bait and switch. I walk in the door, and then I get tackled by 3 midgets, and they unlock my phone and look at my cock. I'm not having it. Because that's what midgets want to do. Midgets are very desperate for your nude photos. And all midgets, I don't know if you're aware of this, all midgets can crack your iTunes code, your phone code in seconds. It's like a savant thing, like a crazy Rain Man thing. Midgets are good with numbers, and they can fucking crack your iPhone code immediately. So don't ever let a midget tackle you and take your phone, because he will see pictures of your cock before you even can blink. So that's this week at the Monday Night Tease. Lock your phone or leave it in your car, folks. Unless you want your secrets exposed by a midget who's tackling you and fucking fumbling through your phone. All right, so that's good. That's a good show, and it's exciting, and you're performing. I can't wait to see it. So please go to the Monday Night Tease this week at Santa Monica and Vine. 3 clubs. 10 o'clock p.m. is the show time. Remember, if you go to be my friend at facebook.com/the40year-old-boy, you can be my friend. And you can also sign up to get on the pages for people who want to bring me to their towns. I may have mentioned that in the past. Like right now, Kansas City, Indianapolis. The new wave of booking shows is about to start. So I'm going to start calling around and trying to find other cities, which is good because I'm already coming to certain cities. As you know, next week, not this week, but next Friday, March 23rd, I will be in Washington, D.C. at the D.C. Arts Center. And I've been doing a lot of talk in the past few weeks. I've been saying stuff like, hey, that show's going to sell out. I haven't sold a ticket in 3 weeks. So I'm assuming the sellout is not going to happen, even in a small room. But folks, if you're going to buy tickets, buy them. So I know what's happening. I mean, I'm going to have a general idea of whether I'm walking into a trap. Not that it's a trap. Why would it be a trap? You know what it is? Right now, nothing but midgets have purchased it. Only midgets have bought tickets. I'm going to walk in and get tackled. They're going to crack my phone and just stare at my cock. God damn it, midgets. I'm walking into a midget trap in this nation's capital.
Oh my god.
So buy tickets for DC. That would be great. It would make me happy and make me think that I wasn't talking a lot of shit when I said it was going to sell out, because I thought it was. We were down to because we're down to single digit tickets left, but they're not. They haven't. It was like this big rush happened, and then I haven't sold any tickets in like 2-3 weeks. So buy them. Is my bottom line. That's March 23rd. That's next Friday at the DC Arts Center. And then also the week of April 27th, I am in Cleveland at Big Dog Theater. Speaking of not buying tickets, folks, let's talk about Cleveland. And look, I recognize I have a splintered audience. They're fractured. They're all over the United States and the world, quite frankly. And I can't expect anybody in Sri Lanka to hop a plane and go to Cleveland, all right? Because you already live in Sri Lanka. That's the Cleveland of Asia. I have no idea. I don't know where it is. I got no fucking clue. But holy shit, did that make me laugh. That's my new t-shirt. Sri Lanka is the Cleveland of Asia. Yeah. Those 7 people are going to be so mad. You know what's even worse? What if those 7 listeners in Sri Lanka are midgets? Oh my God, are they mad? They are so pissed at the end of this show. They're still fuming about the midget thing. Then they hear me brand them the Cleveland of Asia. And they're right now they're hopping in a canoe and paddling over to this fucking country. They're going to take me out. Their little hands. All right. Folks, my mom's been killed by my stepdad in Florida. We've already established that. If I wind up dead, your immediate suspect, 7 midget Sri Lankan canoers. 7 midget Sri Lankan canoers have done the job, done the deed, and you'll find me dead on the side of the road with a skewer of chicken satay in my temple. I don't know what they eat in Sri Lanka. All right, it's the Cleveland of Asia. That was the original of the song that they wrote. That it was actually Sri Lanka Rocks, but he could never get Ranka Rocks together because there was too many R's, so he changed it to Cleveland Rocks. All right. So Cleveland. So look at the magic there, Cleveland. Look what you're missing if you don't come to the show. Right now in Cleveland, we sold some tickets, which is good, but and it's not for a month. I understand I'm panicking early. It's 6 weeks away, but it's a 250-seat room. So I did that in Minneapolis, and I sold like 65 tickets, which was fine. I could deal with that because everybody got close, and we all had a good time. But Big Dog Theater, I have no idea if it's giant or what the fuck it is, but I know it's 250 seats, so I would like to kind of, sell some tickets and at least not have because nothing throws you off like an echo bouncing back at you. I talk too quickly to have to deal with an echo, folks. So please come on out to the show in Cleveland. Buy tickets right now at brownpapertickets.com for DC, March 23rd, for Cleveland at Big Dog Theater on April 27th. And also, I will tell you, there's no scolding for you, Boston. You're buying tickets. Boston on June 1st at the Cambridge YMCA Theater. And I actually have to call them because the guy booked me. This is so funny. When I booked this theater, it's the one where I got to set up all the chairs. And I locked it down. He's like, June 1st. I said, great, it's done. He goes, okay, great. That's fine. I said, well, do me a favor. Tell me where to send the check and all that. He goes, great, take care. And he hung up. And then I sent him an email 2 days later. And I'm like, dude, tell me where to send the money and I'll send it and we'll get it. And he's never answered my email. So I'm assuming it's booked. I hope it is because I've already sold a bunch of tickets for Boston. I might have to just show up in the fucking tweakedaudio.com/40 rape van and drive around with everybody in the back. And get like a loudspeaker, like a tour guide, and just do the show for them that way as I make eye contact in my rearview mirror. I have no idea, but hopefully that guy will contact me back this week as I write him another email. But that's June 1st in Boston, December, holy fuck, March 23rd in DC, April 27th in Cleveland, June 1st in Boston. Those are on sale now, and I'm working very hard on other cities now as we speak. Not as we speak, as I speak. Well, you're not speaking. What if you were speaking? You're having a conversation with this show? I'm not there. So as this is all going on, I'm getting it taken care of, and hopefully other cities will be announced very soon. And remember to go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com, go to the Joe Business page, because there is the link to, because I was going to say link and then tweaked. There's a link to tweakedaudio.com/40 for autoerotic asphyxiation earbuds and cock ring watches and rape vans or murder vans. It all depends on who you've got in the car. It can function. It's a windowless van that can be for rape or murder. It's your choice. We leave it up to you. There's not like a rape van and a murder van. It's a windowless van that can be used for whatever you want it to be used for, folks. But if you choose rape or murder, that will depend on what kind of extras you get with the van. All right, so if you want stirrups, don't pick the murder van. So there's also a link on there for the Zazzle store, which has mugs and mouse pads. And then there's also a link to buy download sets for the show, year 1, year 2, and year 3, or buy them all together. That's the Lord of the Schmidt set available right now that you can get via the Joe Business page on MikeSchmidtComedy.com. If you want to donate to the show, in the upper left-hand corner of every page of MikeSchmidtComedy.com, there is a little Schmitty icon with his pocket out. Click on that. You can make a one-time donation to the show. Or you can subscribe to the show for $2 a month, $5 a month, or $10 a month. Like these people who subscribed did, our friend Andrew Irwin. Andrew Irwin did a nice job. He supports the show. Thank you so much, Andrew. I appreciate it. Our lovely friend, Amity Armstrong, who I've mentioned here many times. She's in the Bay Area, and she's a good friend. And I hope she got her San Francisco t-shirt. I think she did. Because there was a woman at the San Francisco show who purported to be a friend of Amity's. Yeah, we'll see. Also, our friend Will Pfeiffer, who has sent me comic books and things in the past. Thank you so much, Will. He supports the show every month. And our friend Maura O'Leary, who has told me that anytime I want to go to a Phillies game, I can go to Philadelphia and she will take me. Maura O'Leary. And also supports the show every month, which is very nice of her. So, yes. And will send me random photos of like peas, like just ridiculous. Maura O'Leary will send me, because I talked about her one time about sending random photos, so now she just does. Like her and her friends drinking lemonade outside of a shack. I mean, like, just thanks. So that's good. Thanks, Maura. Oh, you want to talk about random photos? This is fucking great. There's a buddy of mine, Larry Larson. I reconnected through, he listens to the show. I went to high school with him. Larson's hysterical. He's hysterical. Ooh, Mike Schmidt. He's just he's fucking great. So he's taken now to sending me photos. Just like I look and he'll send me a text photo, but it's in my email. So I opened up one and he goes, it says, know these guys? And it's him and my buddies Eric and Russ that I went to high school with. And they're just like holding beers in a garage, like as if they were, 16 again. Like literally. The only thing is Larry's head is shaved. You know what I mean? Eric is a little older, but Russ is Russ. Russ will always be Russ. He always looks like Russ. So, and Russ is just a guy who, I can't even explain Russ to you. He's just one of those guys everybody loves. You know what I mean? And he's universally loved, and he should be, because he's just a great guy. So Larry's just sending me these random photos. So he sends me a photo the other day. I open it, and weirdly, it's my cock. Larry has a fleet of midget leprechauns that he sent to crack my phone. And then he texted it back to me just as a warning shot. No, it's so Larry, I get a text from it. It has no subject, like it has nothing at all. And I click it open, and I get this photo. And again, you won't care because you don't know these guys. But just I open this photo, and it's just a group. And on the far right is Larry, and he's holding a beer, of course. And on the far left is two dudes that I don't know. I fuck them. Could not care less. Kneeling in front of Larry, like facing the camera. I think he had a beer too. It was a guy named, I can't. Well, he's another guy. I would say his last name, but I can't. This guy John, we went to school with, class of '83. So Larry and John are there, and then Larry and John are on the right. These two dudes who I don't fucking know who they are on the left, and in the middle is my buddy Russ, making this face like ooh, like a kind of a half mean face, and he has Mike Tyson in a headlock. That's the photo I get out of the blue into my phone. Larry, John, two guys I don't know, and Russ holding Mike Tyson in a headlock, and Mike Tyson making a face like, stop headlocking me. Like, I mean, genius. I'm like, where the fuck did they? So I wrote him back. I'm like, what the fuck? He doesn't write me back for like a week.
That's awesome.
And then finally he writes me. He's just like, man, sorry I didn't get back to you. We were in Vegas. That was like 3:00 in the afternoon. We were smashed. Tyson was signing stuff at Caesar's Palace. Russ put him in a headlock. It's like, of course he did. And you know what? Got away with it because he's Russ. Even Tyson went, it's just Russ. Go ahead, throw me in a headlock. This is ludicrous. That's Russ. Russ can put me in a headlock anytime he wants. That's like the cake boss in Mike Tyson. What voice is that? I can't do it. All right. So I don't even know how I spun off into Larry. From the pictures from our friend Maura O'Leary, who keeps sending me random pictures. So yeah, I love random pictures, folks. Particularly if they're of hot nude girls earning a slut badge at the fucking Monday Night Teas. You should have just texted it to me that second. Yeah, you should have. Why not? They don't care. What the fuck do they care? Everybody else is looking at it. I'm sure it's a screensaver. No, please, really? You think you're the only person he ever busted it out for? He's showing it to waiters. He's showing it to fucking everybody. What does he care? It's just, come on, it's what you want to do. You want to show it off. I unlocked my phone. I was one photo away. All right, so why else take the photo? If they look good, you save them. If they don't look good, you discard them. There's a reason you save them. All right, so anyway. So I'm on the road. I'm doing these things. So again, I want to thank, again, like I said, Andrew, Amity, Will, and Maura. And if you want to donate to the show, again, go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You can do just that and support us individually, like one donation, or do it every month. Thank you. I appreciate it. Remember that I'm again there. You can still find that Never Not Funny Rock Solid podcast about Van Halen, although I talked about it a lot on here. Remember that I was on Jordan Jesse Go last week with Nick Adams. You can go ahead and pick that up as well. Not sure about any other podcasts coming up in the future. I don't mean like that. Like, look, I'm not sure if I'm ever doing another one. I've been told word has come down. I'll never do another. No, it's not that way. And people are writing me and saying because they want to write Joe Rogan to try to get me on his show. And I'm always like, look, don't be do it, but don't be a dick about it is my point. And people are being very nice and all that. I mean, I will tell you, it's not going to work, but I mean, it's nice of you to try. So thank you. But I want to address that on here because people write me emails and when I write them back, I always think I sound like a black cloud. Look, don't do that. You can, but don't. Like it's just weird. Who cares? But I don't care. What the fuck? Be nice. Just be nice. That's all I ask. Be nice. Don't make it look like I got this, army of midget leprechauns trying to find Rogan's cock pictures. Just fucking write him a note. All right. And so, like I said, I'm touring. I'm going on the road. I'll be in D.C. next week. And, folks, I'll tell you this now. I was going to tell you it earlier, but I'll tell you it now. I saved it to the end of the show. I didn't really. I just forgot it, and I've remembered it now. I will have D.C. shirts for anybody who is Kickstarter people who have ordered the shirts. However, I don't think I'm going to have any to sell. I asked for anybody. I had a pre-sale on Facebook, and if you bought them, great. But if you didn't, then I don't think I have any extras that I'm going to be selling because it just Atlanta. I brought home like a bunch, and these are these are really city specific. I mean, the designs are the same. It's just there's Atlanta, Washington. But so I ordered the shirts. Get this, I get on the phone last week, and I call up my shirt place and I order them, and I insisted on. They usually give me a certain brand. All right, well. This brand didn't have the color that I needed. I needed a burgundy shirt for Washington. So I wanted a burgundy shirt with gold for Redskins colors. And so I got on the phone. And they said, well, we have a Hanes shirt that has burgundy. And I talked to this girl. I said, that's perfect. Do it. Run with it. I want the Hanes shirt that's burgundy that you sent me the sample of. And I ordered the amount of shirts. And she's like, great. I had to order them from Chicago last week. I was at Max's house. She said, great. Everything's done. So I said, cool. And I said, you know what? I'm not sure of my hotel yet in Washington if you guys need to ship them to D.C., but If you can get them to me in California, that would be best. I'm going to be on a plane on Wednesday morning. They said, no problem. We'll take care of it. So I've been tied up. I didn't even check email yesterday. So I go on this afternoon to check email, and there's 3 emails from them. Okay. The first email says, hey, here's the approval link. Go ahead and link to this and approve the artwork, and says you do, and so we can take care of it for you. That's the first email. The second email is the invoice for the t-shirts. So I download that, and I look at the price, and I look at the shirt order, and it says the shirt is a Gildan brand t-shirt and the color is cardinal. I had insisted that I did not get Gildan because they did not have burgundy. They only had cardinal, which I've been told is close. I'm not paying for close. If that's the case, go ahead and bill me, and then I'll send you $40. And you'll go, wait a minute, you owe this much. And I'll go, close, right? That's close. So that wouldn't be bad, okay? I see those 2 emails, and it's like so it's just a phone call, right? Except for the third email, which has my UPS tracking number, so I can keep track of the package they sent this morning with all of the shirts. So they didn't even let me approve the artwork. I mean, literally, it's in a flurry, and I understand it's because they want to get them to me when I need them. All right, and I've been very adamant with them that you need to get them to me by a certain time because I'm going to be on a plane. But I also need to see the motherfucking shirt, or at least approve it before you box it and send it to me. Because the whole point is, I'm in California. I've talked about this a million fucking times, folks. I'm 2,500 miles away. I've asked them to send me pictures of shirts, and that they did not want to do that. So then I said, well, look, and then it's very important that we stay in contact about this. And they never called me. They just sent me emails. I lost my mind. And it was funny. It was this afternoon. I was getting ready to come see Lily, and I had already talked to her on the phone, or Karen had, and said he's on his way. And then I said, call Lily and tell her I'm tied up. I'm going to be late. And I called their office, and the woman I deal with was gone. And I got a different guy. He's like, and he said the 8 words you never want to say on the phone if you work in a retail shop. Is there anything I can help you with? And I said, all right, look, I am about to vomit this all over you, and I apologize. It's not your fault. I don't know whose fault it is, but here we go. And I hopped on my 2-wheeler by Steve Schaefer's house, and I ran fucking downhill and landed with both of my knees on his face and skidded for 40 feet. Because he was not ready for it. I dumped it all on him. Burgundy shirts, Hanes approved verbally, but not approved via email. I live in California, 2,500 miles away. Why do you do this? Why is this happening? I don't understand it. Now they're en route. Am I going to have to send back these 25 or 30 shirts to you? And am I going to get the new ones? Because people prepay for these shirts. It's not like I'm just hoping to sell them. These are bought and paid for. I mean, I'm unloaded on this fucking dude. Just rode my 2-wheeler right into his face. And he's like, oh, okay. Well, yeah, I'm sorry that happened. I'm real sorry. And I've talked to this guy before, and I think he's been at on the wrong end of the fucking stick with me then too. And he's like, you know what? Hold on. Let me talk to my manager. Let me figure it out. And I said, all right, cool. And he put me on hold, and I'm sitting there, and then he comes back on the phone, and he goes, hey. And I'm just waiting for what excuse, what bullshit he's going to throw my way. I can't wait to hear it. And I just go, yeah. He says, well, I went into her email and I talked to our manager, and the shirts were definitely printed on Hanes on burgundy. I said, what do you mean? He goes, yeah. He goes, I guess she just put it in wrong on the invoice, or she entered it wrong, or didn't say it right. But I just talked to my manager, and he says that she went to him and expressly, she made sure that it was Hanes burgundy that was used for the printing of the shirts, and that's what's been sent to you. It went out this morning. I said, that doesn't I mean, thanks, but that doesn't make any sense at all. Like, why would you give me an invoice for something that's completely different then? I mean, it doesn't vary in price? And she goes, no, the shirts are the same. It's just she definitely did it. I'm just telling you now. And I was like, all right, well, I'm really sorry for dumping all that shit in your lap just before closing time, because literally they were out in 10 minutes. I go, I'm sorry I dumped that in your lap, but if you're assuring me that it's okay, he goes, absolutely. I talked to my manager, everything's fine. I said, okay, I guess I'll wait to open the box. So, folks, now we wait to open the box. It's en route. It's en route. And when that box shows up, and because it's funny, I will know the second it shows up because the Gildan shirts come in a box that says Gildan on the outside. So if the shirt says Hanes, all right. Unless, of course, it's some cruel joke and I open it and then there's fucking, Gildan shirts in the Hanes box. This actually might be an elaborate ruse. Hold on a second. This whole thing could be an elaborate ruse. What if I get a box and it says Hanes and then I open it up? Midgets leap out and tackle me and grab my phone. Oh, my God. The midgets have gotten to my T-shirt company. The midgets have gotten to my T-shirt company. This bait and switch, Gildan, is actually an old Celtic word that means cock photo. Oh, my God, I'm finished. Back in the day, it was like Tam O'Shanter, like, did you get your Gildan today? It's like a picture of your cock. They know. I'm going to open the Gildan box, looking for a Hanes burgundy shirt, and out leaps a passel of midget to tackle me, crack my phone, and go, and stare at my cock photo. I am finished, folks. I should have seen this coming. I am just stupid enough to think that when people listen to me and they listen to the show, they should take my honesty and go, oh, wow, how refreshing his unvarnished honesty is. And the fact that he's willing to have a scorched earth policy and have no friends or no fucking future is so refreshing and great. But then they'll say to me, hey, do you need somebody raped for the steak? I go, yes, I do. Done. They'll take care of it for me. Thanks, Snake Rape. Oh, no one listens to show, bro? Wonder why? Wonder why no one listens to show, bro? I don't want to listen to show, bro. Please. Snake Rape, do it, do it, do it, do it.